6 months ago, our family was living in a 2,300 square foot house, plenty of space, big rooms, and a ton of stuff. Today, this 382 square foot RV is our new home. No matter how much we planned, we honestly had no idea what we were getting into. But the biggest surprises weren't in what we gave up, they were in what we've created. Let me show you the 3 biggest changes that we have made turning our RV into our home. When we first bought the RV, I thought we would move in, find a spot for everything, and make it work. But that doesn't actually work. You can't fit your old life into a smaller box. We did a major garage overhaul to give our kids their own space. We were going around looking at RVs and researching and all the floor plans. You know, every time a new floor plan came out, we got super excited and we're like, yes, this might be the one. But honestly, once we found the Brinkley brand RV, we were literally like, sold. Nothing else could compare to this. One thing that really set the Brinkley apart from everything else is the amount of space that they give you, like cabinet space and things like that. It was just like, oh, this is what it's gonna look like. I don't know why it didn't occur to me that I was like, oh, I can change stuff. So the first big thing we did was in here, it was putting this wallpaper in above here, and then I put it up here, and then we just have a picture of our dog who passed away literally a couple of weeks before we sold our house and moved into the RV. And then just added a few plants because our old house was actually, everything was blue, and so I was like, oh, I need some new colors. I also put like some like a film on there so that way the light wouldn't shine through so much, because I like sleeping in and I like the dark, basically like a vampire. So here's a cool thing in here. So you don't really know, but they've got drawers under here, like 2 drawers. Most things only have storage, but then also, wait, I gotta stand up. Like it comes up, and like this is where we keep like all of our winter clothes. You just push it back down. I think this is kind of common knowledge, but you also have this thing that slides out like that. And you could like put stuff in there. It's basically like our junk drawer. All of this storage. I mean, we're full time, so everything is just like full of stuff. But the closet is actually like a pretty good amount of space. So got like tons of boots in there, which I never actually like go out, and then it's just kind of thrown together because I haven't quite figured out super amazing storage for in there. After I put up this wallpaper, I actually found somebody that put the wallpaper up here. I was like, oh, I like that even better. But it's funny how just those 2 little things like made it feel more homey, and that I have a picture that I want to put up here. I just haven't ordered it yet. That's the master bedroom. So we actually have not done anything super special with the bathroom. The bathroom's just the bathroom. And I haven't decided if I want to do anything to it. So if you think I should, then comment below and give me some ideas, because I'm just kind of lost. Never get a white rug, because once somebody forgets to take off their shoes and steps on it, there's no making that look nice and new again. We have like these glass doors, which are super painful to clean unless you have good cleaner. And then just like storage, like everything is jam-packed for us because we're full-time, and being full-time we need a lot of stuff. It's basically like our house. This is my favorite part of the bathroom though, is like this pull out, and even though it's full of crap and like extra things and that kind of stuff, I have used everything in there. So, and then it just has like this little lock. You put it in here and then it makes it to where it won't like fall forward. Next, we started tackling the living room. When we first went and saw the Brinkley, we knew without a doubt this couch was not going to work for us. The first one we saw was actually a U-shaped couch, and it was like, okay, this isn't terrible. But then we kept hearing reviews and things like that of, okay, this is not comfortable. You can't lean back in it. Eventually they came out with this L-shaped couch, which is what we originally had. One of our family's most favorite things to do is watch movies together. And we would cram in all together on this 3 couch and just watch TV. And it wasn't super terrible, but it wasn't super comfortable either. Like, we thought we were going to buy a new couch. And then like one night I was just like sleeping. I was like, well, what if we take out the corner and just put, because it has 4 recliners, and then we'll just put them all in a row, and then we can all have our own recliner and watch TV together, and it's just been like way more comfortable. Amber's gonna model our couches. Now we have 4 chairs. We still have to like figure out what to do with that. We're gonna build something there. There's so much storage in here. I actually measured everything before we got the Brinkley. I could fit all of my kitchen things in our actual house in this kitchen, which is kind of ridiculous considering like the size of it. And then you have like the full fridge and like some pantries. And then we have like a desk area over here and some shoe storage. And the cool thing is here too is we also have shoe storage. Then we had a wallpaper in our bedroom, and I was like, okay, we could put this everywhere. But then it was like, we don't want the whole thing to look exactly the same. And so I found like this striped one that I really like, but it's cheaply made. So it was very tough to get like to put on here. And I think it literally like brings your eye up and it makes it feel like really tall in here. So the cool part about this is that you have secret storage in here too. Up here, which we don't even have anything. Oh, we do have something in there. So we have like all this storage up here still, but you would kind of not know that that was there. And then we have in here too. So not like a bunch of stuff fits in here, but like some gaming stuff, which is kind of cool. I wasn't going to put it on here because I was like, that's going to be a pain. But one time our friends were here and I was showing them this cabinet and there was like a paint bubble here. And I pushed on it like to try to make it lay flat and it just like chipped off. So then it was like, well, if I'm going to put this on, that's going to like make this part stand out. And so I was like, well, crap, now I like have to put this on. And I found on Amazon this super long rug to fit here. And I actually wanted it so that way, like if crumbs or something spilled, it wouldn't go like under the slide and scratch the floor. And then I have like the same one in here. So another thing that sold me like on this model and like the Brinkleys is these slide out pantries. So you push the thing and then you've got like tons of space. And then you can slide it back in. And I liked this model because there was 2 of them. So then we have like kind of like a utility closet. I had to reorganize it. As you can see, like this one slides out farther than this one. And these actually are something that I don't like about this because the weight in it, if it's not, I think even if it is super even, like something happens with the bearings, it gets stuck, it doesn't pull out all the way. It's freaking annoying. Like you still have to like pull it out hard. So I might end up changing this in the future. But for now, like it does hold like all of our cleaning stuff. Another selling point for me was that the sink was over here on the side. And so then I had like this huge island. In our house, we actually had literally this ginormous island that Preston built and put in, which was super awesome. But then this is like a knife block. And then this one, we actually don't have much in here. But you could put like stuff in there. Ooh, is it gonna close? There we go. This was another awesome thing I like is this spice rack. We have too many spices, let me tell you. And then the only other like super cool thing is we have like this cutting board here that goes right over the trash can with the little hole, which is kind of convenient. It's funny when you downsize because you always think about everything that you're going to lose. Space, storage, comfort, like all of that stuff. But what you actually gain is clarity. Every inch of this RV is built around what we actually use and what we actually love. And this last change is the biggest one of all. And it's made the biggest difference in turning this RV into a home for our kids. We are in IKEA. Oh, look it, we could get a little basket.
Stylish and comfortable. You don't need a footrest because you're already on the floor.
We were there for hours looking at everything and measuring and doing like all this stuff. And finally we found the perfect furniture for in the garage. The dresser and the wardrobe Preston put in there permanently, so that required a little bit of finessing to get that to fit in there. We had to cut out the holes in order for it to go over the space where the bathroom wall connects to the floor.
Okay, so I'm marking or measuring from this end because it's going to be the end I'm trying to line up the most. So I plan on putting the first set at about 5 1/4, and this from this end to here is 25 1/2, which is 5 1/4 from this side. That way it should put the rails fairly even on both sides. Alright, now I'm going to put one at about 25 1/2. Puts us in the center of these two, which is what I'm trying to do. Yep, I like that better. I'm not a very good camera person. Alright, now I'm going to go cut some steel bar, drill some holes. I'll show you what else I'm trying to do. Alright, I've got my 2 steel plates bolted down. Those are 1/4 inch plates, so I plan on getting the dresser or the wardrobe up and in place, and then I'm going to drill and tap. That way I don't have to try to measure and figure out exactly the perfect spot to drill my holes ahead of time. I know that my steel plates are square. That end's 14 inches from the wall. That end's 14 inches from the wall. This end's 34 inches from the wall. That end's 34 inches from the wall. So as long as I get everything lined up and I go square back, drill through the dresser, I should hit steel and be able to tap it, and then I can just bolt it right down. Alright, I've marked my top plates that I'm using to give it just added strength. I don't know if it matters or not. I should at least keep the bolts from ripping through the bottom of this particle board, but it is pretty thick. I'm going to attempt to hold this and drill right through the center here. At least get a center one in, and then I might tap it and try to bolt this down so it's easier to work with. I think we've hit the metal. Hopefully I'm not drilling a hole through the floor. Finally, and I'm going to put a little blue Loctite on there just for the heck of it. I don't know if it'll help, but probably can't hurt. Oh, don't do that. I got the 3/8 plugs. We drilled it out to 3/8. We're going to put some super glue in here. Put our little plug in. Use the magic pen. It's like it was never there. Alright, that's as good as that's going to get. I got to finish building the cabinet now. I think that's going to be pretty solid.
Note to self for next time, build this outside and then bring it in, because it was a pain to build inside. And the dresser went in the exact same way. It's perfect for the Xbox on the top. We're thinking of hanging this mirror, but we're not 100% sure yet. And then IKEA had this, like, it looks black, but it's like blue and black. So we got a couple of those. And then we put this like wallpaper on here. The motorcycle accidentally fell in the hole, or in the hole, whatever, in the wall. That's what it's called. We wanted it to feel like a room and not a garage, you know. So this was actually a see-through window, and this is this like privacy film that literally like you put spray bottle on here, and then I just used that to cover up the door, so that way when they close it they have some privacy for like changing and that kind of stuff. Still need to get this rug is folded under, but it's going to be cut to fit, and then we'll be able to fill in that square there. And so then they have like their 3-drawer dresser. I have a half bathroom here. I thought like 100% that we were going to have to like remodel this entire bathroom, but Preston came up with that little idea of like just leave the bathroom sink down, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like totally perfect. So it works out, and the girls like it. It's enough space for them, and then they have the cabinet that opens and they can put like all of their toiletries and stuff like that up here, which right now it's holding all of their stuffies. And then we also have some little like storage stuff, so like boxes, bags, and that kind of thing. The bed was a huge project, actually. That took Preston's genius to figure that out. He custom ordered some of these rail extensions and extended it about 15 more feet, and then put a piece of wood cut across, and then found the underbelly part that kind of matched, and then we covered up the seam with a piece of that white iron-on tape stuff. This is the test for the mattresses that were supposed to weigh 25 pounds each, but we think are way heavier. Are you excited for your new room, Amber?
Yeah.
And it's a new room.
It's fine to me.
Yeah. We have success. Good job to who?
Me.
Your dad. He's
I
awesome.
didn't do anything. I was emotional.
And now we
Where's
can
the-
decorate. So they have their own little space. Some baskets in the middle. They could put some pictures up. Just some greenery to just bring in that. And then they each have their own favorite colors. And this is like super easy. You just fold this down. You'll put these things down, of course, for some extra weight, steady or whatever. Oops. Hello, blanket. And then this just goes down. Put the other side down, and it makes one huge bed. And that folds down. If they want to sit here, they can have like a little drink holder. I don't know if we've ever actually used that. So one thing that we really liked about the toy hauler is that this whole thing folds down. There's doors back here, so you can turn it into like a patio. And like go sit out there. We just haven't had like the best weather or anything to actually do that yet, but it has the whole thing. And then all of this will go up for storage for when we traveled. And then we just roll up the rugs, and then we can put like the motorcycle and the bikes and stuff in here. And then none of it has been super difficult. I mean, Preston is very mechanically inclined, so maybe I'm biased in thinking that that's not hard. It really feels like a home. I thought I was just gonna like hate it forever, like feel claustrophobic, but it feels quite spacious actually. We just open all of the windows, you know. It's really important to just make the space feel like yours, and that's just how it feels like home. If you're new here, we're Country Roam, a family of 4 traveling full-time in our RV. Subscribe for more tiny living tips, family adventures, and all the lessons that we're still learning on the road.